upon doing my rant videos, which I've started since December of last year, I knew that hate comments will come with the territory, that people was gonna like pick little things about you and insult you just because they don't agree with what you're saying or just don't want to be just a smartass. But there are certain comments out there that I just get very annoyed because I just hear it all the time, and it just makes me feel that they have nothing important to say than to just insult you because you don't agree with what they say, instead of just actually having a rebuttal. I've seen this a lot with the Archfiend's comments from haters, even Mr. Weenie, and so on and so forth. So I actually want to talk about these particular comments. I pinpointed like about 5 comments that I feel are the most annoying and most overused hate comments on YouTube, Facebook, wherever, even on video game online and stuff like Xbox Live or PlayStation Network. So I'm actually gonna I have a list right here, and I'm actually gonna talk about each one from 5 to the number 1. All right, so bear with me on this, okay? So number 5 is jealousy. Now, there are a lot of people out there who don't agree. Like I said, people don't agree with what you say. Like, for example, Archfiend talks about James Rolfe's method of financing his movie. I'm always on the fence with that comment, but I never took it as the Archfiend being jealous of James Rolfe for being so popular. I never once hear him compare himself to him, saying like, I bust my butt for YouTube and I get diddly squat, and this guy does this and that. Even with Shane Dawson or Craft Nation, or even what's his guy's name? You know what I'm talking about. But not once have I ever hear him or Mr. Ween or any other ranter out there like Undertaker Freak compare themselves to them. What are they jealous about? You know what I mean? They're just stating their opinion about how people do business. Not every business decision people do is everyone's going to agree with. Like I said, it's the apples and oranges thing, In my opinion, with James Rolfe, I was on the fence with the whole thing when he was asking people for money to fund his movie. While other people are very vocal that it's not moral. You know what I mean? And that's an opinion. It's one of those things where people have to think about, why is it, and it's not like the people who are against it are just saying it out of nowhere. They pinpoint reasons as to why, just like they pinpoint reasons as to why certain people are not good, or certain people are just, pathetic. You know what I mean? And it's not like they're just saying it out of nowhere. They say, well, he just sucks because of this. You know what I mean? It's just like, I'm not a big fan of Wrestling Jesus because I feel that the voice is annoying. I feel that there are times I feel he talks out of his ass, and that's pretty much it. I just don't find his stuff entertaining. Now, yes, he has a bigger following than me, but am I jealous of that? No, I'm happy that he has a big following. I'm happy that there's people out there that finds his stuff entertaining. I mean, everyone has their own sense of humor. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? And it has nothing to do with jealousy. So the whole jealous thing, it's just a quick way of trying to dig onto someone that has a different opinion than you, and I think it's stupid. All right, number 4, social life. Now, again, it comes with, when people talk about certain people, they quickly say, oh, you live in your parents' basement, or you don't have friends, go out and commute, go out and get a job and stuff like that. I mean, how do you really know that that person's living in their parents' basement unless they say it? Or they live in their attic, or they don't have friends. Another thing, saying that, you need to get laid. I mean, come on, man, people. It's one of those cliche hate comments that just says that you have nothing better to say just to insult the person because you're so butthurt because they have a different opinion than you. All right. Now, I got comments like this from a particular person when I was doing the Nick Studio 10, saying that I live on my parents' basement, I'm 35, and I don't have a job because I do most of my rants in my car. But honestly, like I mentioned enough, 30 years old. Yes, it's for kids. I have a son. I have a son. I'm married. I have my own place, and this car I actually own. I pay car loans on it, and I have a job. I have a college degree, bachelor's degree in education. I'm a math teacher. But right now for this year, I'm a teacher's assistant because I'm so burnt out from teaching. For 5 years I've been teaching, and it's draining, it's burnt out, so I want to take a step back and be a teacher's assistant. And I get benefits from it. I got a good benefit package from doing it. So am I ashamed for what I'm doing? No. But it doesn't mean that because they have a different opinion that they don't have a life or anything like that. And that's just a stupid cliche thing to say. I mean, seriously. All right, number 3, sexual orientation. Okay, come on, guys. Just because a person has a different opinion or different thought than you, or doesn't mean that they are gay. Okay, why are you associating a sexual orientation to something bad? Yes, I get it that in this world, homosexuality is taboo. I get that. But it shouldn't be construed as a bad thing to say that, oh, you don't like Craft Nation, that makes you gay. You're so gay or something like that. Come on. Why pull that card? Seriously. Like, why really pull that card because a person has a different opinion than you? And how does that make you, how people that who are homosexual feel that if you're using that term? Because they're going to think, like, what, are you saying that homosexuality is gay? Or homosexuality is wrong? Now, I know a lot of people may say, well, Chris, you're a Christian. You're a Christian, so you do believe it. Maybe, but, at the same time, why am I judging people for loving someone? I'm not going to judge them. That's the bottom line. I'm not going to judge somebody for loving another person, whether it's the same sex or not. And it shouldn't be construed as something negative to say something about something that they don't agree with and say, oh, that's so gay and stuff like that. It's stupid. All right. Number 2, retard. Okay. So you're telling someone that they're a retard for actually thinking on their own, right? So if a person says, like, I don't agree with what they're doing, like, for example, about the cut for beaver thing. I mentioned how I felt about it, and one person called me a retard for actually believing in that and saying that let kids do whatever they want, and saying that I didn't do a lot of research on it, that kids are not actually doing it. But I put that person in his place and say, well, if you look at my description box, well, I did put articles where kids are actually cutting themselves for Justin Bieber with the whole 4chan thing. And I pretty much put him in his place. Does that make me a retard? No. I mean, that makes me a smart person for actually thinking on my own. Doesn't make me a retard to have my own mind and have my own opinion. And I think it's just the dumbest, one of the dumbest comments to give to people, And the very last one, number 1, that I feel the most annoying and very, concerned is ill will fates to others. Now, when I talk about ill will fates, like people saying, wishing that they get raped or wishing that they should kill themselves because they have a different opinion. Come on, people. I mean, I don't find those comments funny, not even in the slightest, whether it's joking or not. How do you might know somebody that got raped, and you know what? Being raped is not a funny thing. It's not a joking manner, saying like, I hope you get raped up the ass or something like that because you don't like this person, you don't like that person. Please, people, why would you want to prophesy something on somebody, something like rape? Rape is a very emotional breaking thing. I know people who've been molested and abused by family members or even a total stranger, and it affects them. And for me to actually go saying, I hope you get raped, that's just damn cruel that you think that. And especially when you say, I hope you kill yourself, hang yourself, shoot yourself because you don't like this guy. What are you, Nazis? That people can't have their own opinion, so they have to kill themselves because they're not in your same world. I'm sorry, But asking, wishing for someone to kill themselves, that's just pathetic. I knew a person who killed themselves over a girl, and you know what? It's a sad thing. It's sad and desperate. But you know what? Come on. So because people have different opinions and they don't think the same way you do, you shouldn't wish for them to be emotionally scarred by being raped or kill themselves because they don't fit into your world. I think that's really pathetic. But anyway, that's pretty much all I have here, and this is my final thought on it to those who actually use these type of comments as a response to people's different beliefs or different opinions about, liking this, liking that, or their practice. If you use those type of comments without actually having a good rebuttal, guess what? The argument is totally is lost already. You lost the argument already by resorting to using insults because you have nothing intellectual to talk about. Rebuttals are meant to be talking and discussing of why you think you don't agree with the person, rather than saying, oh, you're gay, or fuck you, or this like that. When you resort to that, you lost the argument already. Plain and simple, you just lost the argument. So think about that, to those who like to use those things. And for those who also use dummy accounts, stop being a damn fucking coward and use your own account and make your comments on people, especially when it comes to this guy here. One time he was talking about my face and eating with food in my mouth. I get that, that's not basic etiquette, but calling me a scruffy cunt, seriously, and using a dummy account to do that, coward. And you have nothing else better to say but to insult somebody rather than talk about the discussion at hand that I talk about, or anyone else who talks about, so just think on that. Anyway, that's all I have to say today, and I hope for those who actually watch this get the message that using these comments is just gonna make you look like an idiot, and makes the person who's ranting look a little bit smarter, especially when they come back at you with a response that kind of makes you belittled. When you try to belittle somebody and that makes you feel good about it. Well, next time, why don't you try doing it through video, or maybe do it through their faces? But of course, you guys are keyboard gangsters. So anyway, I gotta get going. This is Dual Dreamer, rant number 29. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day.